with one or two little glitches. That was a generic ragtime chord progression. Now, I had no music written down for that. I simply picked the chords that I wanted for the ragtime chord progression, and I just played some standard finger-picking pattern out of those chords. And when you see people do that, there's no mystery to what they're doing. They've just learnt certain patterns that come up again and again and again in pieces of music, and we're just applying those patterns. Let's have a look at how we do it. First of all, everything in that kind of style, or most styles of acoustic guitar picking, well, not most styles, but many styles, use the Travis picking technique. It comes up in the Fingerstyle course by about video number 4 because it's so important. And we're going to have a look at it separately now, just to have a look at how we can play these little improvising things with no music. Now the thumb is going to play the bass note followed by the 4th string. We looked previously at the root notes to all the important chords, so it's the root note followed by the 4th string. I've got a G chord here, so I'm playing 6 followed by 4. And that thumb must set up a beat as solid as a metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now within that, the fingers can play any of the top 3 strings. But they can only play them in 2 places. Either with a bass note, let's take the 3rd string, I can play it with the 6th string, or in between the bass notes. And of course, most pieces will use a combination of those 2 things, like a pinch, and then maybe an in between the 4th and 6th strings. So pinch, 4, and pinch. Oh, I didn't pinch. Can you see what I'm doing there? Pinch, 4th string, and pinch, 4, and pinch. So finger notes can only come with bass notes or in between bass notes, and they never come, you never have more than one finger note in between bass notes in this style. Okay, so it's really quite simple. You either put one in between the bass notes, or you pinch it with the bass note. And of course, what makes these pieces sound interesting is they almost always have a combination of those 2 things. So the way to get started with that technique is, first of all, get familiar with putting notes in between the bass notes. Let's use strings 1 and 2. I'm simply going 6, 1, 4, 2, 6, 1, 4, 2. Then try and do it by using the 3rd string as well. 6, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4, 2. Again, 6, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4, 2. When you're beginning to feel comfortable, start to try and speed it up. Whoops, even better than I did. Now try adding a pinch. On the first beat, pinch, then go to the bass note, and then start alternating. It doesn't matter what. This is the important thing. I'm giving you string numbers here, but as long as you're holding the chord down correctly, you can play any of the strings, and they'll sound fine. But let's try this one. Pinch 6 and any note you like. Any of the 3 high strings. Then the 4th string and an in-between note. I'm pinching 6 and 1, but pinch 6 and anything you like. 4, 2, pinch, 4, 2, pinch, 4, 2. Of course, we'd never keep a pattern like that going for as long as that, but it's getting you used to the different techniques. After a while, you begin to apply any of the bass notes, any of the finger notes, either pinched or played in between the bass notes as you feel it. Something like that. Now our ragtime progression, first of all it was swinging, bom ba bom ba bom ba bom ba. going 6th string, 4 and 1, pinched, 6, 2, 4, 3, pinch, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3, or even 6, 1, 4, 2. It doesn't matter, you see, because I'm holding the chord down, any of the top 3 strings will sound fine, they're all in the chord. That was pinch, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3. Now what I'll do then is I'll simply play that pattern as I change each chord. So after G, I went to E7, however you like to play E7. Same pick pattern, because it's a different chord, it sounds different. A7, same pick pattern, but remember the bass note for A family chords? 5th string. Whoops. And then D7. Root note is the 4th string of a D chord, often because that means that it bumps. Our bass would have to go 4, 3, 4, 3, so it bumps into the fingers. So very often guitarists hook the thumb over the top of the neck to get the 2nd fret of the 6th string. Now we can have the bass that goes 6, 4, 6, 4. So we can play our same pattern. And back to G. Let's play it through one more time. Back to G to finish, it's the home chord. So, that last one is a slightly more complicated pattern, but what I want you to really take away is the idea that as long as you set up the standard bass in rhythm, you can play anything with your fingers and it'll sound fine. So let's finish with a different style, something that's not swinging, not ragtiming. We're going to go from G to C. It sounds really nice. And what I want you to do is not to try and follow exactly what I'm picking here, but just go between those 2 chords yourself and try and get the bass rocking in a steady rhythm and play anything with your fingers, any notes at all, making sure that some of them are pinched and some of them are in between the bass notes. Before you know it, you'll be improvising and people will be going, wow, how do you do that?